Welcome to Dump Truck Toolbox. I'm Alan, and today we're going to be talking about cash flow. Cash is the lifeblood of a business. It's got to keep flowing, just like the blood in your body has to keep flowing. The heart has to pump. If the blood's not moving, then the person is not going to survive very long. The same is true with businesses. So the Small Business Administration reported out the survival rate of new startups. After 2 years, about 2/3 of small businesses are still operating. After 5 years, though, the survival rate is down to about half. And then as you go out to year 10, year 15, the survival rate continues to fall. And the reasons for the failure of small businesses are many, and people have all sorts of list of things that might cause a small business to fail. But the immediate cause of failure, the immediate sign of failure, is in about 80% of small business cases, the business fails because of cash flow. That is, there's not enough money coming into the business. More money is going out than coming in. It's like a person bleeding to death. Let me give two ways of thinking of cash flow. A board game Monopoly, a fun game, played it a lot as a kid. Used to play with my cousins and my brother. And early on, I figured out that Monopoly is not a game that rewards the person who buys the most properties or the most houses or the most hotels. The way to win Monopoly is to not go bankrupt. The last player standing wins. Everyone else goes bankrupt. And it's the cash flow. You have money coming in, and it's coming in from pass and go, $200. You flip up cards and go, oh, look, I got $25 for winning a beauty contest. And then you have money coming in from rents. So other people land on your property and they have to pay you rent. And if you add houses and hotels, they have to pay you more rent. So you got this money coming in. It's all good. Except as you make your way around the board, you also have money going out. You can land on spots that cost you money. You can go to jail, and you got to pay to get out if you don't roll the right dice. And then, of course, the big thing is you land on other people's property. And so some people are sort of like, I gotta buy all the property I can. And there are parts of the game where maybe that's a good strategy. But especially when the hotels start showing up on your opponent's properties, you got to say, okay, how big of a stack of cash do I need in front of me to make it around the board again, to survive until I get to go and get $200, to survive until someone else lands on my property and pays me rent. So in small businesses, cash flow is the way you win. It's the way you survive. Don't fail in order to succeed. Don't go bankrupt. Don't run all of the cash out of your business. And so in a hauling business, for example, you've acquired a truck and you've got some business lined up. You've got some people who need you to haul for them. And so you've got some money coming into the business, hopefully. Now, sometimes your clients might be slow to pay. That's a potential problem, and you've got to work with your clients to get the money flowing in. But then you also have money flowing out, and the money flowing out is something you got to pay attention to. You got to manage it. You got to control it. Some of the money is very predictable. You got your truck paid probably every month. And some of the money is related to the amount of business you are doing. So you're going to put fuel in the vehicle, but because you got money coming in, that's a good thing. I mean, you're spending money to make money. Some expenses are random, maintenance being the primary one. Sure, there's certain, preventative maintenance things you can plan for, you can budget for, but your transmission starts acting up. The PTO goes out, you can't lift the bed, the tarp breaks. Those are not necessarily predictable. You may have a month where the amount of money flowing into the business, the invoices that are getting paid off by your customers, does not cover your outflow. If that happens, you've got some difficult choices. Over the next few months, I hope to do some videos on the things that cause negative cash flow and what you can do to prevent them and what you can do to respond to them. My final way I like to think of cash flow is it's like the bed of my dump truck. You put stuff in, like hot asphalt, and it comes out. And so long as you have enough coming out, then you're doing good. Finished putting my warm mixed asphalt into the paver, and the crew asked me to pull onto a side road so the vacuum sweeper truck could dump into me. I always find it's a very interesting piece of equipment. I'd love to drive one of those. Now, I'm not going to switch jobs. I love dump truck driving even more, but what a cool piece of equipment. So I've never been able to get a great view of someone dumping into my truck. So here's a video from a few weeks back of a milling job we were doing, and you can see the sweeper truck dumping into it. But stuff goes into the truck, and it's got to come back out. You got a problem if that's not balanced, if you have a misflow. And so today, what they were putting into my truck was not these nice dry millings that you see in this other truck. Rather, it was mostly leaves. We had milled the street there a few days or a week before, and the pavement was pretty clean. Well, it's fall, leaves fall on the ground, and you don't want to put hot asphalt on top of leaves. Obviously, it's not going to stick to the road very well. So they swept the leaves up with the vacuum truck, and then dumped them into my bed. It's a bit of a problem, though. My bed had just had hot asphalt in it. There's always a little residue left, and those leaves stuck to it. It's like a kindergarten craft project where the teacher brings in a bunch of nice dried leaves, and the kids get a piece of construction paper, and they put some glue on it, and they slap the leaves down. What a pretty project. What a pretty piece of art. Well, that was the bed of my truck. When I got back to the yard, I dumped out, and I was like, oh no, that's a pile of leaves. That's not good. And so I pulled around, and I was backing into the washout area, and I was trying to figure out how far back I needed to go because, other things have been going on that day, and there was a lot of mud in there. Like, I had to get mud all over my boots, and then track mud all over the road that we're trying to put asphalt down on. Oh, this is not good. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. And my boss is out there, and my boss's boss is out there. And so my boss's boss, the superintendent, says, Alan, stay in the truck. I'll wash it out for you. And so he got out the big, fire hose, and he worked for a good 10, maybe even 15 minutes trying to get those leaves out. My point is not that, leaves are bad. So they are if you're carrying hot asphalt. But I work for a company where people really want to get the job done. I've worked at other companies where I actually had a boss who said to me, when I became a manager, Alan, managers manage. and workers work. Don't get too confused. You're a manager now. You need to manage. You need to encourage other people and guide them, but they do the work, you do the management. Well, fortunately, I work for a company that doesn't believe that. Whatever your level is, you step up and do what needs to be done. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about working for basic construction. Once again, thank you for joining me on the video today. If you have comments or observations on cash flow, on hauling, or on leadership style, what works for you, please put it in the comments below. If you found today's video useful or interesting, please click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I'm Alan, and I look forward to seeing you again soon on the Dump Truck Toolbox.